and the Viper in my blood. I actually had I don't know where that was going. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 4 between Beastyqt and the Viper. We are on match point right now. Beastyqt in this set is up 3-0, and that means that this could be the last game in this series. Spawning in on the south side of the map. Playing as the Delhi Sultanate, we've got Beastyqt. On the opposite side, as the Holy Roman Empire in the color red. Playing as the elephant with the in the middle of the town center. We've got the one, the only, the Viper. Lidakor, you have muted your mic, and I am... Wait. I think did Lidakor go to the bathroom? I think Lidakor just went to the bathroom. All right, he's either gone to the bathroom or muted his mic, and I didn't realize. So anyway, you guys are stuck with me. Welcome. This is game number 4 in this set. What are we expecting to see today? We are expecting to see Viper look to work out with the Giga Chads. He is going to be pumping up some weights, and he is going to be taking the Delhi down. At least that's what he wants to do, because he is 3-0, or rather 0-3 in this set, and he needs to win this game if he wants to stay alive.
Indeed, he needs to. Viper with the HRE, Beasty with the Delhi. This is a matchup that Viper has played in this tournament before. In fact, he did that versus VAM01 in the first round of the group stage of the playoffs. That was on a French Pass. This is the new French Pass, by the way, which was changed mid-tournament. HRE versus Delhi, and Viper had a really good HRE game. That was the game where we saw the Elsbach Palace, actually.
Oh, yes, I do recall that one. Elsbach Palace is a very rare landmark. I think that was probably the first time we've seen it come out since, like, the beta, when people didn't know what landmarks are. They're like, this landmark makes villages faster and cheaper? Pfft, sounds useless. Why am I going to be making a landmark that builds villages faster and cheaper when I'm already going to Imperial Age and I've probably got, like, 100 villages already? I don't need that. And then people were like, hold my beer. And they went to Imperial in 11 minutes.
I mean, for HRE, it's fitting to say, hold my beer.
Indeed it is. But now we see the Archon Chapel going down. Viper's got a nice little Archon Chapel in here. I'm pretty tempted to say this is juicy. He's got the town center that is covered. He's got the gold mine. He's got the wood line. And he's got those berries. So I'm going to give this a juice rating of 8.3.
Not bad. I would go with an 8 myself as well, you know, just to have... precise and correct numbers rather than just, you know, throwing out the 0.3 at the end. On the other side, for Beasty, I assume he's going up with the Dome of Fate. Would be very surprised if the other landmark, the Tower of Victory, would be the choice, but right now, no age up for him. He's just now dropping the Dome of Fate indeed, so Tower of Defeat shall remain out of competition here.
Maybe next time we'll see the Tower of Victory come through. But for the moment, I guess my question over to you, Lidakor, is how does Delhi win this matchup on this map? Because I've seen this come out before, and essentially what happens is that the Holy Roman Empire can buy themselves enough time with the distance that it takes to get around the mountain that, unfortunately for the Delhi, it gets really hard to kill them before the knights come out. And that's going to be the problem, because once those knights are out, well, you can almost certainly guarantee that there is going to be problems for our Delhi player.
This is a very difficult matchup for the Delhi to play, because as you pointed out, it's difficult to put up a ton of early aggression, and then even if you control the 2 sacred sites, the HRE will just go straight fast castle, get some knights out, potentially get some men-at-arms out. It's not impossible that you're going to see the Burgrave Palace out there. In fact, when Viper played this matchup, I think he went 2 TC HRE with the Burgrave Palace, but the HRE have the tools to contest those sacred sites rather early. And if you're cut off from those sacred sites with the Delhi, you're going to struggle to put a ton of units on the battlefield because you're not going to have a ton of resources to work with.
Interestingly, from Viper, we don't see any wheelbarrow or professional scouts. It's just a mill that's going down. And the reason why I say professional scouts is because I actually think it's quite a smart move against the Delhi. You guarantee your food income. And obviously, it's something that you've got to be careful of with the Delhi, because that is something that they love to do. They love to constrict you like a Viper would. Actually, does a Viper constrict? I don't know if a Viper constricts or just kills with poison.
This Viper does. This Viper does, I can tell you.
Yes. Yes. But on the north side of Viper's base, we see some walls coming down for him.
Beastyqt. That's Beastyqt's walls. Look at that. It's blue.
Walls.
He's walling him in.
I like it.
Smart.
I like it. I like it a lot. So very smart move there from Beastyqt. Who needs to wall the passage when you can just wall him in? But an archery range coming in for Viper. This is weird. The last time a Holy Roman Empire player made an archery range, I think the year was 2007, I want to say. 2008, maybe. You don't really see this very often. Let's just put it that way.
Indeed, and the level of mind games is unbelievable because you don't expect to see an archer range from the HRA player, so the unit composition of Beastyqt is going to represent that, and Viper is essentially responding to that preemptively, because if you think about that, the HRA, they like to go for a horseman, so the Delhi likely open up with the barracks and spears, so Viper is going to open up with the archer range as a preemptive response to those spears that he's expecting. Now, he's going to have an archer range as well, and it looks like it's just gonna be good old-fashioned knights and archers. He just wants to support those knights and make sure that just full spearman is not something that can push him back. Because Beast is going to stay in Feudal Age for a little longer, but Viper is probably concerned that his Castle Age knights will still get beaten by mass Feudal Age spears.
Yeah, that is always... if it's 1-for-1, you won't. But obviously, on cost, yes, it definitely does happen. But Ragnitz Cathedral coming down now for Viper. Look at the timing on this Ragnitz Cathedral. 6 minutes 50 it is coming down at. This is the new and improved Holy Roman Empire. That's right. They've gone to the gym. They've lifted heavy things, and they've put them back down for a couple of weeks. And now they are the Giga Chad Civ.
Lady, please drop off the gold. It's not hard.
I love this bug. This is a great bug. So that they did fix this bug, but yeah, you can see that that she's just not doing it. Has Viper disconnected?
I hope
he just
so.
lost a villager on the gold?
I hope so not. But yeah, it's like, regardless of whether that villager was stuck, I mean, that villager would have been killed anyways, right? Unless she was stuck in a mining camp, which I don't think was the case. Like, she's not supposed to be stuck in a mining camp, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, so this is the bug that's happening right now. So, wait, is it getting stuck in the mining camp? Oh my god, no, it's not getting stuck in the mining camp. So, no, okay, so just to explain what's happening. So, scouts have an interrupt on their animation, and they made it so that scouts don't interrupt you when you're gathering. But they didn't change it so that scouts don't interrupt when you're dropping things off. And that's exactly what's happening there. Every time that villager goes to drop off, it gets interrupted. And it's frustrating as hell because if you don't do it manually, if you don't tell them, you have to actually move away from the scout and then drop off to fix it.
Oh man, regardless of that, that villager would have been killed anyways, so Viper did lose a villager over there. Ultimately, loss of efficiency, but probably the most important thing is the loss of that villager. This being said, he's going to start picking up the relics over here, first one coming in right now for him. The rest of them is going to be a little more difficult to access though, because Beasty has double layer walls on the northern side, and Viper, running out of food underneath the town center, he's going to have to venture out towards those deer patches to the south.
Scout making its way through at the top. I'm not sure if it came in from that top side or whether it's found a way through those walls. But Viper going to be thinking about picking up those next relics. We can see that there are 3 contested relics on the map. 1 safe relic remains over for Beastyqt, but Beastyqt going to be moving out as well with scholars into position, looking to pick up those relics. And now Viper, they're going to be picking up the southern contested relic. He also has a potential pickup in the middle here, and now looking to neutralize that sacred site in the north. And this is what I fear comes out in this matchup, because the Holy Roman Empire are so damn quick right now. They're so difficult to deal with as well. The fact that they can get up to Castle Age so damn fast, you can't, by the time that your village, or by the time your army gets to the enemy base, they've already clicked up to Castle. It's crazy how quick this is. Beautiful raid coming in for Viper. A couple of spearmen going to be coming out and meeting that horseman. Unfortunately, the horseman going to get skewered and going to head down, unfortunately.
Yeah, another horseman lost over here for Viper. He's losing units unnecessarily here. This is not the first time in this game, but he finds those villagers out there on the hunt, and the first knight is now coming in. If you micro archer well, you can pick off the spears, and then the knight can do a ton of damage. Beast is gonna get forced back into his base. He might even lose 1 or 2 villagers over here, actually.
He should have a huge amount of sheep under the town center. Indeed, he does. So this was something that he did. He made sure that he kept all of his sheep alive, focused on collecting the resources that weren't safe. And Compounder the Defender now comes in for Beastyqt. So there is the potential to see a lot of stone walls on this map, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts walling like a madman.
I feel like he's understanding that he can't afford to play a very long game over here, so we're probably going to see like a Castle Age all-in style approach. And then, in that case, the Compounded Defender makes some sense, because you just want to throw up some stone walls and then play very defensive gameplay. We know that Beastyqt loves to play this hold the sacred site and defense style scenarios. We have seen that in multiple cases on King of the Hill. There's a chance he's going to do that, and that might be a bit of an overkill there.
What would make you think that Beastyqt likes to wall? There's nothing there that indicates to me that he's a defensive style of player. No, nothing at all. Now, Beastyqt does reach the... Beastie reaches the Castle Age, but we do see that he is slowly but steadily walling up this map, trying to constrict it, restrict it, and prevent that passage coming through. But it looks like at least one of the relics going to be going over towards Beastyqt. He's got the second relic sitting back there, the safer one. And a hole continues to open in the center, so there's always going to be this little bit of a passage on the way through.
Yeah, for now, that seems to be the case. Question is, what exactly is the unit composition of Beastyqt going to look like? For now, he is adding crossbows, it seems, grabbing the Castle Age upgrades as we speak. Viper, on the other hand, he's banking up resources for what will be Imperial Age, likely with the Palace of Swabia. And this is where things are getting scary over here for Beastyqt. There's a villager in the middle of Viper, I believe, that is chopping through that forest. This villager, I guess she had the same idea, with a slightly more underwhelming execution, let's just say that.
Yeah, a different approach, quite literally. It was through the enemy base, and unfortunately it didn't play out for her that well. But Viper's managed to make his way around this edge, and now looking to drop down an outpost on this northern sacred site. He has opened it up, he has secured it. He's yet to chop through over on his own base, but obviously 4 layers of walls makes things a little bit different, or difficult. But speaking of difficulties, Salami trying his best to show us the action without getting blocked by that giant mountain of limestone right there to the left of camera. But Viper now clicking up to the Imperial Age as well, under attack in his own base. A little bit of a raid going to be going down through on that Holy Roman Empire base. It's just going to be a scout, but with that scout, he spots that it is indeed the Palace of Swabia that is going up for the Viper.
Indeed. Beastyqt spots the Palace of Swabia, but what can he do here? That's the problem that he's facing.
I don't know. What does he do here? Like, there's no way that he wins this game. I don't look. I take that back. I take that back. I don't want to. I don't want to. What's the word? I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. But what does he do from here? Like, that's the classic Artosis curse that may potentially come out. But realistically, the Viper now has the equivalent of 4 town centers, cheaper villages, Imperial Age, with just infinite amounts of gold behind this.
And Beastyqt has an elephant.
Beasty's got a single elephant. I mean, we're 13 minutes into this game.
Oh man, this is just so painful. Now, Beastyqt is not going to tap out early on this. We know that. Like, there's a chance that Beastyqt is going to try for like 40 more minutes to get something out of this game, but I just don't know what he could do here. I mean, you see that Bombards are coming in here for Viper. He's going to have hand cannoneers mixed in. And the moment you get to Imperial, those elephants will become completely useless. Hand cannoneers, bombards, and in fact, Viper is now controlling both sacred sites, so Beastyqt doesn't have the time to play for half an hour here. Look at that, the Relic garrisoned inside that outpost. That's going to give some extra stats there. Indeed, Salami showing us that buff tower, the tower plus provided by the Relic.
Yeah, Viper looking pretty damn decent at this point. It's rare that you see a Holy Roman Empire player versus Delhi approach a sacred victory, but look at Viper now spotting out the potential attack from his opponent and the potential for a keep drop to come down. Obviously, Viper in the Imperial Age is going to have access to all the tools he needs to deal with this push coming out from his enemy. The hand cannoneers already making their way out onto the field. Villager's going to be looking to drop down a castle, but you can see Viper trying to posture around this small army that's come out from Beastyqt. I can't help but feel it's a little bit underwhelming at this point. I mean, often they talk about insufficiencies with regard to wood. Right here, I mean, this is insufficient army and gets forced back from this position. I can't help but feel like Beasty just... I mean, it's Beastyqt, so he's not going to throw in the towel right now, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not looking pretty, is it?
Yeah, it's not looking great. Looks like the castle is going up here potentially, but as you point out, Viper has all the tools he needs to deal with those. He did lose some of his infantry to the elephants though, so let's give some slack here to Beasty. Those elephants are still marching up and they are still looking strong. He still has actually just 2 scholars left though to heal them. Where did all those scholars go? Did they get picked off by the archers?
Surely not. They're probably just gone on a little bit of a missionary trip, a religious voyage perhaps. But now it looks like Viper's going to be caught between a bit of a rock and a hard place here as Beasty's managed to split him. And yeah, We're gonna be heading towards that keep position, and now indeed it does go down. Viper was looking to try and I think put some walls down, but hand cannoneers are gonna be able to blast arse over on this next keep that comes down and force back those villagers. Viper ideally needs to get a bombard out, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's got that bombard cannon in placement coming through, and an outpost. He's also got an actual bombard coming through as well.
Somewhere. As you pointed out, Viper is sort of split in half over here. He's being cut off by those keeps out there, and the bombard is being made in the middle, so he has to first deal with the keep that is right next to this sacred site. Countdown still going on, down to 7.5 minutes. Elephants working their way towards the Pass of Shrabi, and that castle is likely going up here for Beasty, but the reinforcements are being intercepted by the knights and the hand cannoneers, so Beasty won't be able to reinforce this position, and that's a growing concern for him moving forward.
He's managed to take out a couple of those military production buildings, but Beasty continues to rally reinforcements, of which Viper is picking up, and now turns his attention towards that stone outcropping. Going to be looking to pick that up and drop down a few more keeps. I guess if there's one way that Beasty's got a way into this game, it's going to be through keep drops. Now that Scholar going to get picked off by the bombard. A little bit too aggressive, I will say, in that position.
Viper could have food issues though. Look at that berry patch, oversaturated with villagers over here, under fire by the castle, and Viper, he didn't transition to farms and he can't move to the north. Remember that. He can't leave his base on the northern side, and he's going to struggle with the access to food. Now, he has the bombards to clean up these castles with, but he could be severely delayed over here by this, because it's going to take some time until he cleans this mess up.
Double bombards coming out. You said it's going to take some time for him to clean up this mess, and I'm going to be honest, I estimate it to be roughly 60 seconds. Gone in 60 seconds is exactly what that keep is going to be, because that is they're going to make short work of it. You can see there are villagers out here, but just remember, those bombards are going to drill through the HP of that keep, and with that, it's going to mean that there is almost an impossible amount of health to repair through. Those villagers are still going to get pulled. Beastyqt going to force back those bombards, and that keep does live to see another day. But with that, the keep is in a difficult position here. Now those bombards continuing to try and force their way through. Beasty doing a decent job of neutralizing this Swabia. You can see he's on 68 villagers and now going to fall back. Villagers do get pulled, looking towards those bombards. He knows he's got to keep it alive. No greased axles is going to mean it's a difficult time for him. Cannon in placement, also dishing out a fair bit of damage. Villagers going to get picked off by the elephants, and now Beastyqt might be looking pretty decent here. He falls back from this position, realizes that he doesn't have much of a chance underneath the outposts, and Viper turns his attention towards those elephants.
Viper cannot use that Pass of Shrabi to anything. He's got 1 food in the bank with 0 food per minute, and even if a villager was made on the Pass of Shrabi, he gets instantly killed, which allows Beasty to close that villager gap in there. And now this could be a landmark snipe style scenario here, with those elephants marching towards the base of Viper here. Still, sniping that landmark seems next to impossible against the HRE with that emergency repairs. Instead, no.
He's trying to find a place for it. He can't. He's got one in the back, and Viper pulls all the villagers right now. Emergency repairs coming down on that forward outpost. Viper with the 3rd bombard now is slowly but steadily cleaning up these keeps, and good game gets caught. Beastyqt taps out, and I do not have to eat my shoe because Viper is back in it, baby.
Oh my goodness, I mean, Beastyqt tried everything that he could, but Viper was just such in a good position. I mean, we looked at this game 10 minutes ago and said, how is Beasty going to do anything in this game against Imperial Age Pass of Shrabi? He did the best he could. He dropped multiple castles, tried to make the game messy, but ultimately, Viper is gonna be able to take down those castles, and with that, it's just not gonna be possible for Beasty to do anything here. Viper, if he sets his food eco up, he's gonna be fine with the Pass of Shrabi. Also, as Salami has shown us, the gold discrepancy between the two players, mostly attributed to that Ragnis Cathedral, is pretty considerable, and that's probably one of the things that contributes very heavily to Viper's win. He had a tough time with his eco, with all this pressure from the castles, but the Ragnis Cathedral was something that helped him through those tiring times.
It was impressive stuff from him, and you know, as we said, it looked a little bit scary at that point. You know, Viper managed to keep his head cool though. That was the main thing. It especially was scary when we realized that, hold on a minute, Beasty walled him into the top, and it wasn't just 1 wall, it wasn't just 2 walls. In fact, no, it wasn't even just 3 walls. There was 4 layers of walls up towards that northern position. There was no way Viper was going to be able to get through there. Beastyqt told him, get out of there, mate. That is my area. and he kind of squished him in from the south side. But fortunately, those bombards, they came out clutch